Welcome to our first lesson on verbal reasoning. When you're doing 11 plus, you will be given questions on verbal reasoning, which is to do with just reasoning with words. Today, we're going to be focusing on what we call chords. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on what we call chords. Okay. Now, chords are basically numbers that stands for words. For example, the word dear could be written in terms of numbers as, say, for example, 1435. Okay, so if I don't want to write the word dear, I can just put 1435. So codes are basically numbers that stand for letters or stand for words, basically. Okay, so we're just going to look at question 1, 2, 3. It says, as I always say, first thing you need to make sure you read the instructions very, very carefully. With 11 plus, you go to read the instructions. So here it says, the number codes for 3 of these 4 words are listed in a random order. Work out the code to answer the questions. Okay, so the number codes for 3 of these 4 words are listed in a random order. So 3 of these 4 words here, there, made, where, and drum, 3 of them are represented by these numbers here. This one or that one. But they are random. They are jumbled up. So you're going to need to sort which one goes with which one. So whether this one goes with that or whether this one goes with that, you got to sort that one out. So what I want you to do now, before I help you with this, I want you to pause this video and I want you to try question 1, 2, and 3. So take your time and just try to do it yourself. Okay, so you're going to need to match these numbers with these words that are there. Now, in 11 class, a question like this, they will expect you to take not more than 3 minutes. There are 3 questions you must take, to be honest, about 2 minutes to do this. Okay, so try question 1, question 2, and question 3. Pause the video right now. Okay, right, so hope you've tried them. We're just going to go over them quite quickly. Right, so I'm going to show you how to go about this very, very quickly, how you can go about this coding thing very quickly. Now, the first thing you normally need to do is to look for the most common number and the most common letter. That's the starting point. So you can look for the most common number or the most common letter. Now, if I start with the letter, I can see that it appears that D or E seems the most common. Okay. So if I just focus on D, so I've got D there, and I've got D at the end, and I've got D there. So that's the first thing you need to do. Now, then you need to know the location of those letters. I've got 2 Ds starting, and I got 1 D ending. So you need to look at these numbers now. Is there any number that is starting twice? This is 1, and that's 6, and that's 5. So these numbers are all different. So if I'm going to use D to help me, D is not going to help me that much because I need 2 of them to be at the start, and 1 of them to be at the end. Okay. You can still use it. You can still keep to that. Now, I will need to think about it this way, that I'm looking for a number which occurs at the beginning and also occurs at the end and is the same number, even if I just ignore this. Now, looking at this, I can see that 1 is occurring at the beginning and also at the end here. So I can try and just say that let D be 1. So where D is, I'm just going to put 1 where D is. So everywhere where D is, you just put 1. Okay, so that's that. Now, then if you take D to be 1, then you can see that what you're now saying is that this word here would stand for 5231. Because this is the only number that's got 1 at the end, and this is the only word that's got D at the end. So it's as if this is going to go with that. So now what I'm going to need to do is to match them up. So this A here would then be 3. So where A is, I'm just going to put 3. And you do that for all of them. So where A is, you just put 3. Everywhere where A is, you put 3. Everywhere. Okay? And where 2 is, I'm going to put E. So where E is, I'm going to put 2 because that's the second number there. So E is 2. So I'm going to put 2 there, and I'm going to put 2 there, and I'm going to put 2 there, and that's just that. And then 5 here is going to be M. So everywhere where M is, I'm going to put 5. So where M is, I'm going to put 5 there, and I'm going to put 5 on this. Okay. Now, so I've matched this one with this. It might work or it might not work. So you have to do trial and error here. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to look at the numbers I have here, and I'm going to see whether I have them somewhere. So this is 1, 2, 3. There is no number here that is starting with 1, 2, and 3. But if I go to this other one here, 1, 3, 5, I can see that here I've got a number ending in 3, 5, just as this one is ending in 3, 5. Right? This starts with 1 and that starts with 1. So it's as if this 4 here is R. Yeah, it's as if the 4 is basically the R. So where R is, I'm going to put 4 all the way. So where R is, you're going to put 4 all the way. Everywhere R is, you're just going to put 4 all the way. Okay. So this one has been matched. The drum has been matched. And that seems to have been matched. Now let's look for where and see whether there's something that can match. So I'm looking for a number here that ends in 342. If you look up here, this one ends in 342. So it's as if the 6 here is going to go with W. So where W is, you're just going to put 6. Okay. So if it works for all of them comfortably, then you can be confident that that's the case. Okay, so now to answer the other questions, you're just now going to summarize that D is 1 and E is 2. Okay, A is 3, R is 4. What else? And M is 5. Okay. So once you know what the letters are, what numbers they are, then you can now then answer this question. So find the code of the word drum. So this drum here, we done it, is going to be 1, 4, 3, 5. So that's going to be 1, 4, 3, 5. And then Riam or Rim. So this Rim here is going to be R-E-A-M. So R, we say that R is what? R is 4. So that's going to be 4. And then E, this E is 2. And then A is 3. And then M, we say that M was 5. So 4, 2, 3, 5. So that's that. Now for find the word that has the number code 6, 2, 3, 4. So 6 is what letter? We found that 6 was W. Okay. Now 2 was E. And then 3 was A. And 4 was what? R. So that's where. Okay. So that's how to do this kind of question. So what you want to do now, if you just want to pause your video quickly and then mark your answers. Pause the video and mark your answers quickly. So that's how to do this question. Okay. Right, so I'm going to turn on the slide and I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try question 2. It's all to do with the same thing. I would like you to read the question very carefully and then try question 4, 5, and 6. So read the question, try question 4, 5, and 6. Okay, hope you've tried them. Right, so the first thing you need to do is to copy the numbers, the words out. So just copy them. Then the next thing you're going to need to look at the numbers you have carefully. So you're going to need to match up the most common number with the most common letter. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to try and, find the most common letter that is in these ones here. It appears to be T. There is T here, there is T there, there is T there, there is T there. Now, once you've identified the letter, I'm going to be starting with T. You need to see the location of that T and then try to match it with the number. So in this one, T is at the end. And with this one, T is at the start. So I'm looking for a number that starts and finishes. So it starts there and finishes. So this one is, I've got 1 there, and I've also got this one here. So I might confidently say that 1 is T. So where T is, I just put 1. And I'm still just trying. Okay? Because this T is at the end and is at the beginning. And I can see that this one is at the start and is at the beginning. And there are lots of 1. There are 3 of them. So that could be what T is. So what I'm going to do, where T is, I'm just going to put 1. So where T is, you put 1. put one where T is. Where T is, you just put one everywhere. Okay? Right. The next thing now, the only word that has got T starting with it is this one here. So what you might want to do is to try and match this one. This number start with that. Try it. It might not work. Try it. If you do that, then you're saying that R is 4. So you say that R is 4. So anywhere where R is, you're going to be putting 4. So that's going to be 4. And that's going to be 4. Everywhere R is, you put 4. That's the idea. Okay. And then where I is, you're going to be putting what? You're going to be putting 5. Okay, because the third one there. So where I is, you put 5. So I is 5. So it's going to be 5. Where I is, you put 5. Where I is, you put 5. Everywhere I is, you just basically put 5. Okay. Then where M is, you're going to put 6. So that M is at the end. And this is 6 here. So you put it at the end. So M is 6. So M is going to be 6. So M is 6 there. And M is going to be 6 there. Okay. So that's all. Right. So once you've done that, you match the trim with 4, 1, 4, 5, 6. It might be right. It might not be. What you now need to do is to now to compare the numbers you're building up here. Now here, I've got a number starting with 4 and ending in 1, which is not here. So I can ignore that for the time being. Here, I've got a number starting with 6, then 5, then 1. And that doesn't seem to be here. So it doesn't seem to be working. Now then here, I've got a number ending in 154. Now that 154 seems to be this one. That 154 seems to be this one. So I can then say that S is going to be 3 then. Okay, because that's the one in front. Okay. So what I've done here so far, I've matched two numbers. I've just basically matched two numbers. Two words. I've done the star and I've done the trim. So the trim is 1456 and the star is 3154. Now what I'm going to do now, what you're going to need to do now, you're going to need to rub these ones off and then you're going to need to just try again. Maybe you made a mistake somewhere and you're now going to use this to help you with this one. Okay. So we can see that where S is, you're going to put 3. So 3 is the third one there. And that seems to be this one, isn't it? 3 is the third number. That seems to be that. And then where T is, you put 1. So I've got 1 there. So that seems that this rest seems to have 3 and 1 at the end. So that seems to be working for that. Okay. Right. Then the next thing I want to do now is to just basically think about it. If 3, 1 is here, then I can think that this number here will be the same as rest. So therefore, this 2 is going to go nicely with the E. That's going to go there. And this 4 there is going to go with R. And check that it doesn't contradict. So this R is 4. In the other one, R is 4. And R is 4 there. So it works really nicely. Okay. So that one goes there. Now, when it comes to might here, E is 2 here. So I put 2 there. And T is 1. I is 5. And M is 6. So that's going to be 6, 5, 1, 2. Right. So there we are now. We might everything. So all you need to do is to answer the question quickly. So find the code for the word might, which we've done is 6512. So 6512. Then do semi, S-E-M-I. Okay, so that's, we don't have that, but we know that S is 3. We know that E is 2. We know that M is 6. We know that I is 5. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to need to find the word that has the number code 1246. So one is where's 1? So 1 is T. So where 1 is you put T. 2 goes with E. 2 goes with E. And then 4 goes with R. Yeah, so 4 goes with R. And then 6 goes with what? 6 goes with M. Okay, so that's term. Yeah, like the term date for this group. Okay, so that's how to do that. So that's going to be the end of our lesson. So if you just pause your video now and then just mark your answer quickly. So what we've done today is how to do chords. So when you find a question like this in 11 plus, hope you'll be able to do this. Okay, so well done for today.